Madhav, and then we'll start at this. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopijana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Yashoda Nandana, Jaya Braja Janaranjana, Jaya Braja Janaranjana, Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ji ki jai, Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Shri Laddu Gopal Bala Mukund ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Nitai ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai, Panchatattva ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Sai Gaura Prem Nande, Hari Hari Bo, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha, Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna. So let me recite the Dhyana Shloka. Om Ajnanatimiratasya Jnananjana Salakya Chakshrum Malitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandegam Shri Guru Shri Dabata Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sargana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parjan Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shiv Shaka Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayam Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Before reciting the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God of Narayana, unto Narayana, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author, by regular attendance in classes in the Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service to the pure devotees. All that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yonta Pravishya Mamavacha Imam Prasuttam Sanjeevayati Akila Shakti Dharasvadamna Anyam Sahascha Charanashravanattvagadi Prana Namo Bhagavate Ushaya Tutyam Tasmadakam Mikita Viklabhishwarasya Sarvatmana Mai Grinami Yata Manisham Nicho Jaya Gunam Sarga Anupravishtaha Uyeta Yena Kipuman Anuvarnitena Om Shivadaya Krishna Prashtaya Pudaveshmadeva Dr. Swami Dinapne Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachan Nirvishesha Punyavadi Vashyadi Desha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram. So we are reading from third canto, 12th chapter, 16 to 19. Beautiful verse. So let us recite this verse. And how Brahma is dealing with Lord Shiva is really wonderful, We have to learn a lot of lessons from this past time. Okay, this is during the creation, third canto, 12th chapter, where the creation is going to take place. So let us recite the verse, translation and purport, and word-to-word meaning also, of course. Rudranam Rudra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Samantat Jagat Nishamya Sankyayaso Bhutan Prajapati Asankata. Rudrana of the sons Rudra. Rudra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, who were generated by Rudra. Samantat, being assembled together. Grasatam, while devouring. Jagat, the universe. Nishamya, by observing their activities. Asankhya Saha, unlimited. Yutan, assembly. Prajapati, the father of the living entities. Asankata, become afraid of. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The sons and grandsons generated by Rudra were unlimited in number. When they assembled together, they attempted to devour the entire universe once. When Brahma, the father of living, saw this, he became afraid of the situation. The generation of Rudra, incarnation of Venkata, was so dangerous to the maintenance of universal affair that even Brahma, the father of living, became afraid of them. The so-called devotees or followers of Rudra are also a menace. They are sometimes dangerous even to Rudra himself. Descendant of Rudra sometimes makes plan to kill Rudra by the grace of Rudra. That is the nature of his devotees. Next. 3.12.70. Alam Prajabi Shishtabhe Idrishibi Surottama Maya Sakardhante Beer Dishashchakshubir Ulbanai Alam unnecessary. Praja Bihi, by such living entities. Shishtabhi generated. Idrishtibi of this type. Suravottama, of best among the demigods. Maya may. Saha along with Dahanadivi who are burning. Disha all sides. Shakshubi by the eyes. Ulbanahi, fiery flames. Brahma told, oh, best among the demigods, there is no need for you to generate such living entities, of this nature. They have begun to devastate everything on all sides with fiery flames from their eyes. And they have even attacked me. Text 18. Tapa atishta badram te sarvabhuta sukhavaham tapasseva yata purvam shishta vishram vidan bhavan. Tapaha, penance. Atishta, being situated. Badram, auspicious, stay unto you. Sarva, all. Bhuta, living with you. Sukhavaham, bringing happiness. Tapasa, by penance. Eva, only. Yata, as much as. Purvam, before. Shishta, will create. Vishwam, the universe. Idam, this. Bhavan, yourself. My dear son, you had better situate yourself in penance, which is auspicious for the living, all living entities, and which will bring all benediction upon you. By penance only, you shall be able to create the universe as it was before. The creation, maintenance, and dissolution of this cosmic manifestation. The three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara, or Shiva, are respectively in charge. Rudra was advised not to destroy while the period of creation and maintenance was going on, but to situate himself in penance and wait for the time of dissolution, when his services would be called for. Text 90. Tapassaiva param jyotir bhagavantam madokshasham sarva bhuta guha vasham anjasa vindate puman. Tapasa, by penance. Eva, only. Param, the supreme. Jyotihi, light. Bhagavantam, unto the personality of God. Adokshajam, who is beyond the approach of senses. Sarva bhuta guha avasham, residing in the heart of all living entities. Anjasa, completely. Vindate, can know Puman, a person. By penance only, one can approach the personality of God within the heart of living entity. At the same time, beyond the reach of all senses. Purport. Rudra was advised by Brahma to perform penance as an example to his sons and follow that the penance is necessary for attaining the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that the common mass of people follow the path shown by an authority. Thus, Brahma, disgusted with the Indra's generation, afraid of being devoured by the increase of population, asked Rudra to stop producing such an unwanted generation, to take penance for attaining the favor of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, we find in pictures that Rudra is always sitting in the meditation for the attainment of the favor of the Lord. Directly, the sons and followers are advised to stop the absence of annihilation, following the Rudra principle, while the peaceful creation of Brahma is going on. Super. So here, this is a transcendental discussion between Brahma and Rudra. So the background of the verse is very important for us to understand this verse. So what has happened that this chapter is talking about the creation. So what has happened? Brahma wants to create this material world. So he was thinking about it. At that time, what has happened? Five things appeared because that is very much required in this material world. If these five things are not there, then world cannot be created, material world cannot be created. Because with that five elements, only this creation of these five elements, only we can um, uh, entangle these living entities in this material world. And this is mentioned in, I think, 5.12.2, 3.12.2. Sajagre antatamishram, adatamishram adikrit, mahamohancha mohamcha, tamaschanchana vrittaya. This is very important. So here, the thing is that Brahma first created the initial engagements of self-deception, sense of death, anger, after frustration, sense of false ownership, illusory bodily conception, or forgetfulness of one's real identity. So here, the first is called anger. It is mentioned anger, no? Anger. After frustration, anger. Constitutionally, anger is the first thing which has to be created in the material world. Because anger is required, and without anger, we cannot, but we have to control the anger. Because Hanuman also want to, without anger, we cannot burn the Lanka because we want to burn all the non-devotees. So, constitutionally, each and every living entity has minute independence and we misuse. And therefore, we are always angry. Anger and envy or go together. No? When we are envious, we become angry. When we are angry, we are envious. So, it is like that. And then next is Antatamishra. This is called Tamishra. This covering, which is anger and envy. Whenever we are in anger or in envy, we should understand we should Tamishra. That means we are in the darkness. And then next is the very important point. Next is we think that death is everything is over. That's why people commit suicide and they think that death is the ultimate end. And that is also, this is not Tamishra. Tamishra means darkness. Tamas means ignorance. Tamas is black, dark ignorance. And that is, death is the ultimate end. People think that death is, once the body is finished, everything is finished. But it is not like that. And then the third point is denying the existence of soul. And this is called tamas. One is tamishra. Tamishra means anger. Then death is ultimate end. When we think that, that is under tamishra. So that under tamishra means dark ignorance. And tamas. Tamas means we are in ignorance. Denying the existence of soul. People deny the existence of soul. 90% of people, they think we are this body. We are also denying. As a devotee, we cannot say that we don't deny. And then moha. Moha is the word also mentioned. Moha means illusion. Illusion means that we are this body and everything belongs to me. In this world, material world belongs to me. Nothing belongs to us. That is a fact. And we come empty-handed, we go empty-handed. And then Mahamoha. Mahamoha means complete sense gratification. The moment we are allowed to do sense gratification, we do it. That's our nature. That's our nature. That's our nature is like that. We want to enjoy this material world. And that's why we are put into this material. Because we want to enjoy independent of Krishna. Prabhupada writes in the purport of 3rd canto, 27th chapter, 20th verse. Why Krishna is enjoying all in all? Why not me? The moment we thought that, Krishna said, you are not fit to be this physical world. And that's why we are thrown into this material world, which is called throwing influence. And then once you are thrown, you are covered with these 5 influence. Anger, death is ultimate, we think. And then denying the existence of, even today as a devotee, we don't know what is our previous life. And we don't know what is going to be our next life. So we don't accept it. Principally, we don't accept it. Now, I'm not talking about you. Maybe you people may accept. But till today, 23 years I have been, but I am not able to accept it. Because I am not realized. So once you realize, then you will not worry. And that's why my Guru Maharaj, actually Kavichandra Maharaj came to, I think, Bhaktivedanta Hospital in Bombay. And Kavichandra Maharaj came and asked my Maharaj, how are you? Maharaj said, I am very happy. I bought the ticket. Hope I will go to Vaikuntha. I don't know whether I deserve or not. But I bought the ticket. I'm waiting for the train to leave, about to leave the body at the time he told. It's impossible to tell that type of statement because unless you are realized fully Krishna conscious, it's not possible. And Prabhupada was able to translate Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita purports just by surviving on juice, can you imagine? Okay. And then all this put together become total ignorance. And this is covered as ignorance. And then this we have to leave, we have to get rid of this. And this we are all covered, correct? We have anger, we always have anger and envy, and then we deny the existence of soul. We think that is the ultimate end. We are always in illusion, and also we want to complete sense gratification. Mahamoha. If required, if there is no Mangalarti, today, suppose the temple says, today we will not have Mangalarti, then we will stop the Mangalarti. If today we don't read Bhagavatam, then we will not read Bhagavatam. This is our nature. Because our nature is propensity to enjoy is there in our blood. Because we are coming separated from Krishna. The moment we are separated, we are covered by this ignorance. And how to get rid of this ignorance? And there is a nice verse spoken by Dhruva in the 4th canto, 9th chapter, 11th verse. Bhaktim muhu prabham tuime prasango uyad ananta magatam amalashe. We have to get rid of this ignorance. 5 types of ignorance. One is that anger. D, death is ultimate end. Denying the existence of soul. One is called, first is called Tamishra. Another one is Andatamishra. Third is Tamas. Fourth is Moha. Fifth is Mahamoha. All these 5 types of coverings has to be get rid of. And this is called a covering influence. Krishna calls when she put in this material world. So, Dhruva Maharaj gives a way out. Bhaktim muhu pravatam toime prasanga uyad anantam magatam amalashayanam yenan jasa albanam uru vyasanam bhavabdim neje bhavat guna katam tapanamattaha. This is 4, 9, 11, 4th canto, 9th chapter, 11th verse. When you have time, please go through this. This is a beautiful prayer by Dhruva in front of the Lord when he had the darshan of the Lord. When he was touched by the Lord. Oh, unlimited Lord, kindly bless me so that I may associate great devotees who engage in your transcendental loving service constantly as the waves, the river constantly flows. Such transcendental devotees are completely situated in uncontaminated state of life. By a process of devotional service, I shall surely be able to cross the nascent ocean of material existence. We are covered by these 5 coverings, to get rid of, which is filled with ways of placing buyers like dangers. It will be very easy for me, but I'm beginning to hear about I'm becoming mad to hear about your transcendental words. We should become mad when this program, our Panth Prabhu is giving the organization, we should have, every day morning I have to come at 7 o'clock. This mentality we should not have. This is the Bhagavatam. You should become mad after running after Krishna. Because this is going to give us, get out of these reasons, and we have to become mad, about your transcendental qualities, which are actually eternally existent. So here, the first thing is when you associate with the pure devotees. So what happens when you associate? Srila Prabhupada gives the transcendental devotion service. Without association, Srila Prabhupada says that without association of pure devotees, there is no question of transcendental devotion service. We cannot do. Because only devotee. So Swayam Suti Prabhu called me and told me, please come for the program. And that's why I went. Otherwise, I would not have gone. I would not have had darshan of Maharaj. I would not have known what is Prabhupada. I would be wandering in the streets of Abu Dhabi, going from one mall to other mall and enjoying sense gratification without knowing what is the goal of life. Complete change, association of pure devotees. Association of devotees. And then what happened? I associate with a devotee, and then he attached me to a pure devotee, Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. And that is the result of the devotional service. So what has happened? The moment we associate, what happens? We coming out, we immediately, first thing what they do, we are not this body. Prabhupada says, no, don't think that you are this body. Prabhupada was giving a lecture, I think on Radhashtami. And then the whole lecture he says, you are not this body. And then one of the disciples come and ask, Prabhupada, why are you telling every time we are not this body, we are not this? We have heard for a long time. Have you come out of the bodily conception of life? Have you realized you are Atma? No, then you have to hear it. Now, Maharaj, you said, we thought that Prabhupada, we thought that you are talking on a Radhashtami day. You should talk about Radha Leela past tense, Krishna's past tense. And you are talking about the body. So, when the association of devotee, the first thing they tell, you are not this body. First instruction of Bhagavad Gita, that will be told to you. Correct? You are not this body, you are Atma. First thing they will do. So, the Tamas, Antatamishra is given. Antatamishra means that denying the existence of soul is broken immediately. First thing is, first ignorance is cut. 5 ignorance has to be cut. So this is the first ignorance. And the second, once associated with the devotee, what they will do? They will tell you to chant the holy names and do the devotion service, do this service, do this service. They will engage you. So what will happen? They will be engaged in your devotion service. And then what happens? The results in incessant flow of devotion service. The devotional service, and then what happened? Then you know, once you know the devotional, when you hear about Bhagavatam, when you hear that we are going to take birth after birth, Janma Mrityu Jara Vadi Dukkha Doshana Darshanam, we know that death is not the ultimate end. We are going to get another body, another body, another body. So first, the soul, they will tell that this is the soul. Then Andhata Mishra is broken. And the next is, first is Tamas is broken. Tamas, that denying the existence of soul. Next is Tamishra, Andhata Mishra. Andhata Mishra means death is ultimate. We deny it. No? Now we will not say, oh, death is not ultimate. We are going to take another body. We know that. We have been hearing. And then third comes the detachment. The moment we associate with Krishna, we are detached from Maya. We are detached from material attachments. So this, what happens? Automatically, Tamishra. That means the anger and envy goes away. It should go. It is not going. It will go. Eventually, it will go. The anger and envy, Tamishra will go away. So anger and envy slowly subsides. And we know the moment we become envious, we'll be put in the 26 types of hell, 28 types of hell, which is mentioned in 5th canto, 26th chapter. We'll be put in the hell if you are envious. So we know that just by raising the eyebrows on a living entity who is coming to your house, you will be punished. So you'll know about it. So you'll be very careful that you will be detached. So we become detached. Attachment to Krishna, detachment to material things. And then what happens? Next is, getting detached means we will get attached to Krishna. Then we will realize that we are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And we are coming out of the identity, moha. We come out of the identity, moha. So the next covering, moha, goes away. So once the moha goes away, then we engage in the devotional service. We hear about Bhagavatam, and then complete suspension of the modes. So Jnanam Yata 2.3.12 of Bhagavatam. It's a beautiful verse. It says, complete suspension. We are completely out of the modes of material nature. Complete suspension of, yeah. So Jnanam Yata Pratibhita Gunomi Chakram. Chakram, it is a Gunomi Chakram. This material modes is like a chakra which binds us. It's a whirlpool of the modes of matters of material. It sucks you, just like whirlpool in the ocean or the lakes, sucks you inside. The same way the modes of material nature sucks us in the material atmosphere. And therefore, the moment we hate Atma Prasada, when we hear about Krishna, when we hear about transcendental past tense, we get out of the Gulonvi Chakra, we get out of the modes of material nature. And then what happens finally? Once it happens, when we are out of the modes of material nature, then that is the termination of material existence. Then you understand you are Sat, Chit, and Anand. Beautiful, transcendent knowledge in relation to Supreme Lord, resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and modes of material. Such knowledge is self-satisfying, free from material attachments. And that's why Prabhupada has written so many books for us to read and understand this transcendental knowledge. And this transcendental knowledge is Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction. So many books. Prabhupada has written 60 volumes of books. It is unlimited. We don't have time to read all those books. We are not able to touch even one book. We are suffering from this because of the material disease. So complete suspension, termination of material existence. So that's and therefore it is very important for us. We have to come off to the modes. And every time we come to Krishna, we are out of these five coverings. These 5 coverings is the bondage of the material world. Okay? Tamishra, Andhatamishra, Tamas, Moha, and Mahamoha. All these coverings cover us and put us into this material world. We have to come out of this covering. And this is what is mentioned. And these are all important for creation of the material world. So that's what these are all created. So Brahma saw that he has created all these 5 elements. It is all Krishna's direction. He became very frustrated. He said that, what? I wanted to create living entities. Now these 5 elements have come. He shed his body. He was so upset, Brahma, when he created all these 5 types of ignorance. He became very upset with this. And he shed his body. And then Krishna said, don't worry, we have to, this needs to be there in the material world. And therefore, again, he came back. And then he created, he became tranquil. And then he created 4 Kumaras, Sanat Kumaras, 4 Sanat Kumaras he created. The 4 Sanat Kumaras were created and asked them, please start procreation. Then Sanat Kumara said that we are not interested in creation. We are not interested in procreation. We are interested in self-realization. We are already liberated 5-year-old persons. We are. So we don't want to entangle himself in the material life. And Brahma became very angry. What is this? I created this one, and now I created Sanat Kumaras on a tranquil mind. These living entities, they don't want to obey me. This disobedience, actually disobedient. If you are not obedient to Krishna, if you are not obedient to your spiritual master, and if you are not obedient to your Shiksha gurus, then you will not get the mercy of Krishna. But here, if you see, the disobedience of Sanat Kumaras is ordained by Krishna. Krishna doesn't want these Sanat Kumaras to do the creation. And Brahma didn't understand at the time. Brahma understood later. At the time, he didn't understand. He was thinking why they are disobedient. And he became angry. Naturally. Because you see, the coverings are there, the 5 coverings. So it is affecting Brahma also. It is not leaving anybody. The moment we are born in this material world, Krishna will not leave you. So anger came into his mind. And because of the anger from his eyebrows, from the center of the 2 eyebrows, Rudra came. Rudra came, the blue color, reddish and bluish color. He came out of the eyebrows. So Rudra came and he became very angry. And then we know that Kumaras, there is a Sampradaya. And Krishna wants the Sampradaya. Of course, Sampradaya, we know Sri Sampradaya, Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and then we have Kumar Sampradaya and Rudra Sampradaya. So Kumar Sampradaya is headed by Nimbarka Swami, who is heading, and then Vishnu Swami is heading the Rudra Sampradaya. And Brahma Gaudiya Vaishnava is Madhvacharya, and Sri Sampradaya was headed by Ramanujacharya. So which is basically from South India. So we have to understand, and Sanat Kumaras have got Sampradaya for worshipping the Lord. So because initially they were impersonalists, and once they smell the tulsi leaf, and they had darshan of the Lord, they became completely purified. That's in the 3rd canto. It is going to come later. It is going to come later. 3rd canto, 15th chapter. They are going to have the darshan of the Lord, and they are going to discuss, and Jaya Vijaya is going to fall down. All these pastimes are going to come. It's very interesting. Please don't leave Bhagavatam. No? Very, very interesting. Especially 15th chapter, 16th chapter. How the transcendental relationship with Krishna, the devotees, and Sanat Kumaras. That pastime is exemplary. So many lessons we can learn. How to behave, The whole Bhagavatam, our Maharaj used to say, Bhagavatam is going to behave. It has got two things. One is the glorification of the Lord with various qualities, and second is to develop behavior from Krishna. So this is what we have to understand from this. So, and this particular verse, for today's verse we are discussing. So, grasatam. The grasatam is a very, very important word, Devouring. Devouring means immediately gobble and swallow, just like a python swallows the mouse, swallows the living entities, immediately, just like a tiger or a crocodile tears apart the zebra. You can see in the geographical, it tears apart the zebra and kills immediately. So gobbles and swallows it, This is what's happening. Grasatam is a word. And the Prahlad Maharaj nicely praised in the Bhagavatam, the same Grasatam he is talking about. And the Grasatam is a word is very, very important for us to understand in the devotion service, Trastosmyaham Kripanavatsala Dussahogra Samsara Chakra Gatanat Grasatam Pranita Baddha Swagarma Ushattamate Grimulam Prito Pavarka Sharanam Mayasekatanu. These Rudras were created from Rudra started the creation. And when you started the creation, all the Rudrani, their nature is to destroy them. And they become devouring people, They started doing this because this is their nature. And they all started devouring everybody. That's what is mentioned in this. Rudranam, Rudra Shishtanam. All the living entities, they started unlimited number. They assembled and attempted to devour all their universe. Not only that, when Brahma, the father, saw him, he became afraid of him. Brahma became afraid of Rudras. Can you imagine? So, it is very important. Grasatam. So, the Grasatam. Trastosmyam Trapanavatsal. Grasatam. One living entity devouring other living entity. Other condition, one to devour another. This is the nature of the material world. So, this is a very important point, Devour means quickly swallow. So, we have to leave this tendency of devouring. It's very important for us to understand as living entity, the Grasata tendency. Actually, as a devotee, when you become senior, we want to control the living entities. We want to control the devotees, neophyte devotees. And we do in the name of devotion service, we devour them. Please don't do that. That's very Dasatam we should never do. Because already living entities are suffering in this material world. The living entity comes to Krishna consciousness and we devour them with, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this. Maybe they may be making one or two mistakes, and otherwise, you put so much condition on their head and drive away from Krishna consciousness. Because hardly people are coming to Krishna consciousness. Bahunam Janmanante Jnanam Atma Prabhu. The living entity comes and then we all do the devouring. Already they are devoured in outside world. You go to office, they are devoured. You go to, they are devoured by their wife. They are devoured by their children. They are devoured by the office. They are devoured by their mind. They are devoured by the loan. They are devoured by so many things in the material world. Banks, they are devoured by the bank. Everywhere there is devouring is happening. And then they come to Krishna consciousness. And they want to have a blissful atmosphere. And we devour. Please don't do that. You put your condition. You do whatever austerity you want to do. Don't impose those austerities onto them. Prabhuji, if you don't observe Ekadashi, you are unfit to live in this world. If you don't chant 16 rounds, you are not a devotee. Why we have to tell like that? They are coming new, Prabhuji's brothers. We have to understand this point. Don't devour them. Grasatam we should not do. We should lovingly handle the devotees. And that's what Prabhupada did. Prabhupada was so much compassionate. He was feeling so much for Kirtanananda, who drifted away from him. He was feeling so much. And we have to understand this point. There was one devotee, I think he came to Calcutta. He left the movement and he started smoking cannabis and ganja. So he entered the temple with a pant and shirt and said, I'm a disciple of Prabhupada. And then he said, I want to stay in the temple. And then they don't know what to do. They called Prabhupada. Prabhupada was in Vrindavan and they were in Calcutta. So the the temple president called Prabhupada. Prabhupada could not take the phone and it was Tamala Krishna Goswami Maharaj who took the phone. Tamala Krishna Goswami said, what is the issue? This is what the problem. This person is taking this. So we want advice from Prabhupada whether we have to take him inside or we have to leave him out. Then Prabhupada called that Prabhupada was told. Prabhupada said he has to leave he cannot be in the temple. He can be outside the temple. He can come and visit. There's no problem. He cannot join the temple because he's smoking ganja. If he associates, it will poison the people. But he has got every right to come to the temple because he's my disciple. And then please tell him, Prabhupada said very strong, please tell him, if he doesn't stop smoking ganja and cannabis, I'm going to reject him. He told like that. Please tell him like that. So very strongly Prabhupada told. When he told that, and then that devotee told like that. And he was little upset. And then Tamala Krishna Goswami said, Maharaj, Prabhupada, do you mean what you say? That you will really reject your disciple? No, I cannot reject. He started crying profusely. Prabhupada started crying. I cannot reject. Who am I to reject? Jagai Matai was accepted by Nityananda Prabhu. Who am I? I'm nowhere in front of Nityananda Prabhu. Please, I have to accept him. This is only to correct him, not anything else. So that some strong words goes to him, it will have impact so that he can convert, become a devotee. That is my intention. I don't have any other intention. He become a good disciple. That's all. I cannot reject. I will not. And therefore, you have to understand every Prabhupada disciple who has left the moment, he will go back to God. Because that is Prabhupada's statement, Prabhupada's statement, I cannot leave him. So this is how. So therefore, Prabhupada has taken such a decision. That doesn't mean that people take some people take non-veg, some new people will come. We have to tolerate the new people. Whatever they do, they have to accept. One devotee was there, actually, in Abu Dhabi. He was very rebellious. He was taking non-veg and all. We accepted him. We tolerated. Our Sajjan Priya tolerated him. And what happened? And he became a nice devotee. In fact, he started writing Grantharaj articles. He Tushta Krishna Prabhu, he has become a nice devotee. Whole family became devotees. Complete transformation is happened. Because we didn't do Grasatam. So we should not do Grasatam to any devotee. And who are we to authorize to punish or any devotee? We should love. See, you can see how Shiva is acting. Shiva is saying that Rudra is creating dissolution, creating a big problem in this situation. And Lord Shiva, Brahma is telling, oh, best among the demigods. He's not criticizing, condemning Shiva. Can you see that? He says, you're best among the demigods. Please stop this. See how he approaches. So Brahma, even though he was anger, produced Rudra, but how he behaves. That is very important for us in the divorce. He did not do the Grahasatam. Actually, Rudra's children are doing Grahasatam. But he is not doing. He says that, oh, best among the demigods. You see how he is responding. So this is what we have to think about this. How the whole Bhagavatam is made. How Brahma is speaking to his disciples. Rudra is his son. How is he speaking to him? Best Sura Uttama. He is not condemning him, but he is correcting him. Correction is different from condemning. Grasata means we crush. Oh, rascal. What can you do? We can say like that, no? As a son, as a father, Brahma can, oh, rascal, you hooligan. What nonsense you are doing? He can shout and scream and whatnot. But he didn't do it. Why? Because, if I do Grasatam, he will run away from Krishna consciousness. So, that's the mood of Brahma. And that should be the mood. The Grasatam, the Rudras are doing it, and we should never do that. Creation is very difficult. To create one devotee, Prabhupada says, and there's also one more pastime, very nice pastime. The Grasatam is very important for us to understand. There is one more pastime of Bhakti Siddhanta, sir. One of the disciples just looked at a girl and he was little fallen to that. And then immediately all the sannyasi disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta, they rejected him. They said, no, this fellow is complete polity, is looking after the girls, and therefore we should not allow him. And then they throw him, get out of the ashram. Get out of the ashram. And then Bhakti Siddhanta was, after 2-3 days, he was checking, what has happened to this Prabhuji? No, he was running after girls, so we threw him out. What nonsense you are taking? I have spent millions of blood to make him as a devotee. And you just threw him out? What nonsense you are doing? He became very upset. You bring him back, otherwise don't come and see him. Bhakti Siddhanta became very angry. Then they searched, and this devotee, he made a spelling mistake. My spiritual master will accept this. And then they searched and they found him, bring him back. And then Bhakti Siddhanta was very happy. And he said, please don't do it again. Please correct yourself. And then he became a very nice devotee. So this is how we should never do Grasatam. Grasatam is a very important word for us to understand. So we should always loving dealings. That's what we have to understand from. And you can see from the pages of the Bhagavatam. Okay, this we should not do. And suppose somebody does Grasatam to us, how do you react? And that is very important for us to understand. One portion of the person, Grasatam. We should not devour any living entity. Suppose somebody devours us, what you should do? And that's what we have to learn from Vidura. Vidura was insulted in public. He was devoured in front of, devoured means he was shouted and screamed by Duryodhana. Duryodhana says, this Sudradi Putra, why is he talking? Just have him his breath and let him get out. So, and audaciously, and adamantly, and angrily, and enviously, and so much anger was there on Duryodhana. And that too is Chitapa, his Chacha, his father's brother. You should give respect to his father. His father Chacha is non-different from Papa. He didn't give respect. He was chastising him in front of everybody. And he was devouring. This is devouring. Grasatam Pranita. Grasatam. He was doing Grasatam. Same Grasatam. Duryodhana was doing it. And Dhritarashtra was seeing. Bhishma was seeing. Vidura was seeing. Bhishma was seeing. Drona was seeing. Everybody was seeing. But he was seeing that how did he react? That's what is very important. It's very, very important for us to understand in the devotion service. Okay, we should not devour any individual, but we will be devoured. Because Prabhupada says in 7.9.16, as we discussed, one living entity will devour. It will happen. Okay, you should not devour. That is one point. They should not devour us. We should not get devoured. And that is how to execute the devotion service in that situation when we are devoured by a living entity. We will be devoured. We will be devoured. In this material world, people will devour us. Because that is the nature of the material world. One living entity has to devour another living. That is the nature of the material world. We cannot change it. Because some or other you will be devoured at any point of time. And how do you react to the devouring? That is very important for the devotion service. So 3.1.16, whenever time permits, please read this verse. These are all wonderful intersections. Just I am taking only one word, that is taking so much time. So here, 3.1.16. Swayam Dhanudvari Nidaya Mayam Pratu Puro Manush Swayam Dhanudvari Nidaya Mayam Pratu Puro Marmashutadi Topi Sayitamatyul Banakarna Bane Gatapyato Yat Urumanyana Manayanaha. Beautiful word. He says, thus be pierced by the arrows through his ears and afflicted the core of the heart. He was afflicted at the core of the Grasatam has been done. Vidura placed his bow on the door and quit his brother's place. He was not sorry, for he considered the acts of external energy to be supreme. So he understood that external energy is working. So, in spite of being, Prabhupada writes in the purport, very strongly insulted by Duryodhana's word, Vidura could see Duryodhana under the influence of external energy, was making progress towards ruination. He therefore considered acts of external energy as supreme. Yet he also acted on how the internal energy helped him. See how he reacted. Grasatam was there. So Krishna's internal energy and external energy both are working. Okay, energy of the Lord is working. So external energy worked on Duryodhana and anger, and you want to do Grasatam. And internal energy worked on Vidura because he was working in the internal energy, which is Radharani. So he understood. He could understand that. Now he got the opportunity. Now, how Prabhupada writes, he has got the opportunity by the grace of Duryodhana. Instead of being sorry at the strong words, he thanked him from within because he gave him the chance to go to the holy places, holy dhams. So he said, Gatam Yataha. Gatam Yataha means without being sorry. And therefore, what happens? Somebody does Grasatam to us. Somebody divorces us. At that time, what do you do? Oh, I don't deserve. Prabhuji, I don't deserve this. Prabhu Krishna, I don't deserve. Why this living entity has devoured me? My boss is devouring me. My wife is devouring me. I don't deserve. I don't deserve to suffer like this. That's what we will feel. And we feel self-pity. And self-pity, what will happen? We want to take revenge. We want to do something else. And we become depressed. We go into depression. We go into the mental hospital. And that's what is happening in the material world. And otherwise, what we do? We commit suicide. And that's what is happening. The children now, husband, wife, the small boys and girls marrying, and they don't know the value of life. One living entity devils another living entity. They say this is the end of life, and they commit suicide. And they don't pass the exam. Somebody tells something, they commit suicide. 10th exam, they didn't pass, because there's all devouring. The exam has failed him. No, that's why they commit suicide. They don't understand the value of life. So this is how self-pity. Because in self-pity, we don't want to deserve, we want to do this. Please don't do self-pity. So here, he's not doing self-pity. He knows he's affected by God. Yes, we are affected. Grasatam affects us, definitely. We are not pure devotees. But how he reacted, how he responded to the treatment, that is very important. So the Grasatam is done, definitely, by Duryodhana, but how he acted. And what he did, he went away. He went away. So he understood the greatness of the devotee. He understood leaving the place. He said he wants to leave. Harsh word hit us very badly. So we may become hurt by the actions of others, but we should not be sorry for ourselves. And this is what our Maharaj used to say. Maharaj said, it's okay, do not worry. You are a good person. We always think like that. So what we have to do? He went for the pilgrimage. And not only that, he went for the pilgrimage and he came back, Prabhuji's Mataji's. He came back to Dhritarashtra and liberated him from them. He was feeling sorry. He says, 3.141, he says, Anusoche, I am always thinking of Dhritarashtra. Can you imagine? Dhritarashtra's son has insulted him and throw him out of the palace, and then he comes back again to liberate him. Can you imagine? Because he went for the pilgrimage, he was working on the internal energy, he was not getting Grasatam, he heard Bhagavatam, he heard from Maitreya Muni, and Krishna told him, Krishna told Maitreya Muni, Uddhava, I am very much concerned about Vidura. Please tell me I am remembering him because of this quality. Grasatam will happen in this material world. Prabhuji's mother is. Your mother-in-law, your father-in-law, your daughter-in-law, everybody will do Grasatam. But how you react is very important. We should not respond. We should not react. We should respond and go into the internal energy more. We should go and take shelter of Krishna. And Krishna will give the strength. Once you work in the internal energy, Krishna comes and occupies your heart. Sadhu Hridayam Makyam, Sadhunam Hridayam Tavam. Krishna comes and occupies. He comes and besieges your heart. And then he says, this living entity. And that's why Vidura, Krishna told, I want to remember Vidura. Because not only that, he became a well-wisher. Because he was purified again. His heart was hurt, definitely. Then when he came back, he purified and he said that I am thinking about them. I am thinking. Anusoche. Anusoche means constantly I am thinking about my brother who is not liberated. He is sitting in Pandava's house and eating their food. Pandavas have killed them. So see, imagine. So this is how I simply lament for the Brahmasha who rebelled against his father after that. But I am driven out my own house. I am the sincere well-wisher. So you become the well-wisher, you know. So you become the well-wisher. Can you imagine? Can you become the well-wisher? That is what we have to understand. And you become an instrument. And you understood, I am becoming an instrument, just an instrument. I am just becoming an instrument. Arjuna said, I am become Karishye Vatanam Sava. Just we have to become an instrument and depend on Krishna. Chetasa Sarva Karmani, Mai Sannesa Matpara, Buddhiyogam Pashita, Machitta Sadada. I have to remember Krishna. And ultimately, what we have to do is, what we have to do, whatever fighting, whatever Gaslam, our Maharaj made a very, very important statement. You know? Maharaj, you know, it's very important. Just we have to remember what we are going to take with us. Nothing. This anger, this devouring, nothing is going to take. We do not forget to remember that we must remember Krishna. Ultimately, we have to take Krishna with us. Ante Narayana Smriti. All of the things will go away in this material. Maybe we have some karmic reaction. We have to come back again. That's a different issue. But if you are going to ponder over it and you are going to mentally agitate yourself, you are going to get entangled in this material. So whatever you all do, just do it in such a way that your last moment, you always remember Krishna. So that's why Rudra example is an exemplary example of how to handle the Krasnam. Krasnam will be there, Prabhuji says. If it is not there, you should be surprised. Our Maharaj says, you will be surprised if people don't do Krasnam. Somebody has to do. So we have to accept this. Because our karmas are there. We are not out of the karmas. Our prarabdha karmas are there. We have to get it. And that is the nature of the material world. So it will make us humble. I know that's what we have to. So this is the Rasatam. So we have to understand this point and we have to remember Krishna. So Vidura did not think about Duryodhana has done like this, Dhritarashtra has done like that, they have afflicted me, the Krasnam he has done to me, so I must take revenge on them. All these things he just put it in the aside. He said, I will go and hear Bhagavatam, completely purified. And that's what we have to do. And that's what Parishit Maharaj did. And that's what Chitraketu did. All the people, Chitraketu was cursed by Parvati Mata. He said, I am accepting the curse. You know? That is how. He was cursed to become a Ashura. Can you imagine? Chitraketu, such an exalted devotee. About a few months back, he had the darshan of Sankarsana. And then he was cursed by Parvati. Can you imagine? Chitraketu, what he did? Grasatam, it was a Grasatam. Parvati Mata just crushed him to become an Ashura. He was such an exalted devotee. He had the darshan of the Lord. He did the prayers to the Lord. And he was cursed. And he said, Pratignami, I accept it. And then he says, oh mother, can you imagine? Oh mother. Somebody is cursing, he says, oh mother. We cannot do that, Prabhuji's mother is. But what we have to do is, we have to divert our attention towards Krishna. We may not be able to do that. We may not be able to interpret Chitraketu. We may not be able to do Vidura. Forget about it. But at least we should try to forget about the incident. And try to forget about that Krasata. And concentrate on devotion. We may not be able to forget them or forgive them. That's a different issue. But we have to go ahead towards Krishna. And that should be our move. We should go on. We should not get stuck in this situation, that Grasata. So this is the point we have to understand. Now, text 17. Lord Brahma was very upset and putting so many embarrassing situations has happened and he was all threatened to kill him. So he asked Rudra to stop. The way in which he told that we have already discussed. Now, text 18 is very important. 23. This is how we have to divert our children even making mistakes. We should nicely advise. This is a very important point, you know. See here, he not only criticized, he didn't do Grasatam. Actually, the Rudra's son were doing Grasatam. Brahma did not do Grasatam. Brahma is advising very nicely. Can you imagine how nicely? He says, Tapo Adishta Badramte. He's diverting him. So the children sometimes, they make mistakes, they make some blunders. What we should do, we should divert them. Divert them to the better things. And this is what we have to do. The children, to our other devotees, whoever comes with problems, who are suffering so much, and we should divert them. See how he says, Tapo Adishta Badramte Sarvabhuta Sukavaham Tapasseva Yata Purvam Shrishta Vishwam Vidambhavan. Rudra, what I suggest now, oh my best among the demigods, you do tapas. That is best for you. I think if you do creation, it creates problem. Please divert. So that's how we should divert the living entities. The devotees are suffering material problems. No? Then we should tell them, please do tapas. Please do more chanting. No? Try to do more chanting. I know Forget about that problem. Please do the chanting nicely. Please do chanting. Please read Bhagavatam. Please read Bhagavad Gita. Associate with the devotees. Please hear Krishna Karma. What happens? Automatically the mind becomes pacified. And the mind gets diverted. Mind has to be engaged. Because otherwise we will be thinking about that item. So Rudra will be thinking about that item that I have created wrong living entities and I have put Brahma into difficulty. I have embarrassed him by like this. And Brahma is chastising. Brahma is telling me like this. So you should not feel him. So very nicely. This is how. And what is the beauty of this? Tapa, austerity. What is the benefit of austerity? Austerity is auspicious. All living entities will become happy. And then we bring benediction on the person who is doing the tapas. Definitely. Then you can create a universe with good living entities. So tapa is auspicious. So austerity, biggest austerity is to tolerate each other. That is the biggest austerity Prabhuji is. We have to tolerate each other. Devotees, non-devotees, everybody. Tapas, actually, tapas is very auspicious for the body. Now we have just passed out Narasimha Jayanti. We try to fast, some devotees. We try to fast till evening Nirjala. It's very good for health. And the doctors recommend, Langanam Parama Aushadham. Langanam means fasting is the best medicine for any type of disease. Our Maharaj used to say, suppose we have cold cough, don't eat anything for 2 days. Automatically the cold will go. But what we do, we go to the doctor, we take antibiotics, we do everything and everything. And we eat also. So the less we eat, the more the body becomes austere. That is austerity is required. Austerity of the body, austerity of the mind. It is the 18th chapter of Bhagavatam. So many austerities. Let us not go into the details. So austerity should be integral part of our life. And austerity is auspicious. Without austerity, we are doing austerity in office also. We tolerate so many things, We tolerate our bosses, we tolerate our friends. 23 years, the same company I worked. I tolerate so many insults. It will be there. Insults will be there. Krasatam will be there. Because I'm getting salary. It's austerity to tolerate all the insults in the office, It is an austerity to tolerate the insults in the house. It's an austerity to tolerate the insult in the devotional service, the association of devotees. It's an austerity. To bring it together is very difficult. To get separated is very easy. Prabhuji, I don't like you, you don't like me, get separated. I don't want to see your face, you don't want to see me. That is very easy, the devotional service. But that is not there. Austerity is to tolerate it. Because Swabhava Vishamam Janam, every living entity is independent. Nobody is same. Everybody is unique. Suppose everybody is same, then it's very bad. One time our godmother, Devaki Prabhu, came to Abu Dhabi. And we told Prabhu, Devaki Prabhu, we want in Abu Dhabi, like you, all the devotees. I said, there won't be any fun. There won't be any variety. Because Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everywhere transcendental. Citraketu Maharaj is different. Parichan Maharaj is different. Sukadeva Goswami is different. Parichan Maharaj is different. Vidura is different. Duryodhana is different. Dhritarashtra is different. Yudhishthira Maharaj is different. Arjuna is different. Nobody is same. No living entity is same. Everybody has their own way. Bhima is same. Bhishma is different. Everybody is different. So nobody can say, Bhishma is a devotee. Chitraketu is a devotee. Bhishma fought against Krishna, against the Dharma. It's all Krishna's arrangement, So every living entity is unique. So that's why there's no question of everybody will be the same. So that's one of the biggest problems we face in divorce service. We expect everyone to be like, okay, I am interested in Bhagavatam, they should be interested in Bhagavatam. I am interested in book distribution, he should be interested. With that, don't expect. Some people may deity worship, some people may have chanting, some people may Bhagavatam, some people in some other services, deity kitchen, somebody in kitchen services, so many things. So we should allow everybody to every type of thing. And that is very important. Austerity is to tolerate and accept the people as they are. And this is very important, especially wake up early, Our Maharaj says, early to rise, early to bed will make healthy, wealthy, and wise, So that's what, but only in Krishna conscious we came. Otherwise, before Krishna conscious, I was waking up at 8:39. And I used to remember in Abu Dhabi, we don't have any morning program. We don't know Mangalarti also. So what we do is we wake up at 9 o'clock because Friday is holiday for us, Evening only program, 6:30. So every day we wake up. And then one time our Maharaj came. And he saw no Mangalarti, only evening program. Maharaj chastised swines. He said that If you don't have Mangalarti, I'm not coming to this place. And then Swayam Smriti started. And I was very upset. I was very upset with Swayam Smriti. Prabhu, why you started Mangalarti? I said, Maharaj will not come. This pure devotee will not come if I don't start Mangalarti. I was not going for Mangalarti for about 3-4 months. Because I don't want to do austerity. That is my nature. And he was like that. I was fighting with him. In fact, I was arguing with him. So I was going Grasatam to him, but he tolerated it. He could have just thrown me out, but he tolerated. Because he's a nice devotee, he tolerated. And because of his tolerance, I was able to continue. And afterwards, I came. And then, now even today, the Mangalarti is going. It is not stopped. Maharaj wanted that to happen. And because it's auspiciousness, Mangala Arati means it's almost auspicious. Early time in the morning is the best time for chanting, because at the time we are in the trying to be in the mode of goodness. Because once the day is open, then we are in the mode of passion and ignorance, and all these things starts. So best time. So Mangalarti is so auspicious. And that's why the Bhagavatam, Mangalarti is there, Bhagavatam is there, Every day is there, Nityam Bhagavatam Sevya. And this program is being conducted Pant, with relent, without taking any rest, he was continuing the program. Can you imagine? It's not so easy to organize the program. It's really very, very difficult to organize the program and run it. It's a big austerity. How much austerity Pant Prabhu is doing it, to organize this program. So it is not an easy job, And this austerity will please Krishna. And that's what we are going to discuss about. Prabhupada did not do austerity, then how can we enjoy all these facilities now? Bhagavatam is there, Bhagavad Gita is online, everything is there. So many temples, so many books. He slept 2 hours a day, 22 hours he has worked. At the age of 68, can you imagine? At the age of 68, he was 22 hours, little rest, all the time preaching, all the time reading books, and he was translating Bhagavatam night. 1 o'clock, he will wake up and write Bhagavatam. Can you imagine? Bhaktivinoda Thakur also. Bhaktivinoda Thakur slept for 2-3 hours. He was writing so many kirtans, so many kirtans. And it is one of the kirtans I love, really wonderful, beautiful kirtan. I don't remember the start also. Krishna se tumhara, Krishna dite paro, tumhara sakatiyache, amito kangala, Krishna Krishna boli, dai tava pache pache. This is the formula we have to adopt. What Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling. Exalted Bhaktivinoda Thakur Gunamanjari, directly associated with one of the associates of Radharani. He is telling that. Krishna se tumhara. He says, he is telling his spiritual master, Krishna belongs to you. Krishna dite paro. You can only give me Krishna. Krishna se tumhara, Krishna dite paro, tumhara sak. Because you got so much potency, Krishna is with you. Sakati ache, amito kangara. I am a rascal. I am a rogue. I am a ruffian. I am a rascal number 1. I am not fit to be in the material world. I am not fit to be a devotee. I am a kangala. Kangala means most useless hooligan I am. Amito kangala, Krishna Krishna bole. I am Krishna Krishna. I am telling Dai, I am following you. He is following the spiritual master. So we have to run after Srila Prabhupada. So this is the mood of Prabhupada. This is the mood of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a district magistrate. He was working so hard, and he was finishing all the work within half a day. And he was dedicated. How much austerity they have done. But for the austerity, we will not be enjoying all this. And Prabhupada is the best example. Because this austerity is so important, Prabhuji's and Mataji's. So we don't have time to read Bhagavatam. We don't have time to read Bhagavad Gita. We don't have time to read Chaitanya Charitamrita. We don't have time to read Nectar of Devotion. Please, I want you to spend quality time. Prabhupada has toiled and moiled and sweat. So much austerity he has done. So we have to give him something back. We have to be grateful. How to be grateful? At least read his books. And that is the best thing. There are so many other books. With all due respect to other books, but don't leave Prabhupada books. Please, this is my humble request. I fall at your feet and request you to study Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita. That's one word, Krasana. How wonderfully. Devary. The word you use. See how much thinking you should have meditated on one word, Devering. How much you should have meditated. Krasatam word, Krasana means crushing, but he used the word devouring. That is the mood of Prabhupada. How much he has meditated on one word, He says, I have to meditate on that. Don't waste me time. I don't want to involve in management problems. Please, you handle. Oh, GPC, you handle it. I don't want to handle GPC. I want to concentrate on Bhagavatam. I want to meditate. I want to meditate each and every word of Bhagavatam. And that is the mood of Prabhupada. Prabhupada has done so much of austerities. He has built temples for us. He has told us how to create deities, how to do deity decoration, how to do the temple worship, how to do the deity worship, how to do the deity abhishekam. Everything he has. What he has kept everything. And he has given attendance to so many people. And he is writing letters. Those days there is no email, there is no WhatsApp. Prabhuji's mother. He was writing personally letters to all the people. Can you imagine? He was replying to all thousands and thousands of letters. And all the thousands of letters are Bhagavatam, not different from Bhagavatam. He was quoting from Bhagavatam. So this is how we have to understand how much austerity is Prabhupada has done. So the austerity is very important. And then one austerity, how Prabhupada has written. Please listen to this. This is, he has written on 23rd May 1968. He is writing to Kirtananda Swami. I was so glad to receive a letter May 13, and gladness knew about exactly that one gets back his lost child. He says, I got you, he says. You have written to say that you are thinking me often, and now it is confirmed that you cannot do without thinking of me, because I was always thinking of you. See, Sadhavo Hridayam Makyam Sadhuna Hridayantam Madhyannatena Jananti Nagam Debhyo Manakapi. This is a verse spoken by Krishna. Krishna says, I am in the heart of the devotees, and devotees are in my heart. I do not know anybody other than my devotees, and devotees do not know anybody other than me. But this can be applied to devotee, pure devotee, and his disciple. And that's what he has applied. So I am in your heart. Prabhupada says, I am in your heart, and you are in my heart. So we are not separated, even though physically separated. I silently cried and prayed to Krishna. How I God lost this child. I have lost you, he says. Kirtananda, I am sure you cannot be lost, because you changed very nicely in Vrindavan. You chanted very nicely in Vrindavan. Anyone who chanted the holy name of Krishna cannot be separated from Krishna conscious atmosphere. This Prabhupada never said pure chanting, just chanting. Can you imagine? What a statement. This is Bhagavatam. Please, Prabhuji's Mataji, read all those letters. So inspiring. It will make you, I don't know, it makes me crazy when I see how Prabhupada can write like this. How a devotee can do like this. It is impossible. After 100 years from now, people say it's a miracle. This doesn't exist, but it has happened. This has happened. Please, just in front of us, just 40 years back. This is a miracle he has done. These miracles, you cannot get it. It's happened. It's not a miracle. It has happened. After some time, people call it a miracle. So he says how much he has done. And then he says, the holy name of Krishna will never be separated from Krishna. Just please don't drop your chanting beats. Any grasatam happens in this material world, any situation, don't drop the chanting beats. Okay? So I was sure that please pray for me that I should not drop the chanting beats when grasatam happens to me. It's not only for you. I'm praying to all of you. I fall at your feet. I fall all at your lotus feet. Please pray for me that I should not drop the chanting beats in any circumstances, because we don't want to leave the Krishna consciousness here. So this is very important for us to understand how much austerity to do. And all living entities are happy. So Prabhupada did the austerity. We are enjoying the benefit. We are very happy. Chant and be happy. Prabhupada has done everything. No need to read books. No need to write books. No need to do. We have to just distribute the books. That's all. That's simple service we are doing. We don't have to do austerity much. Our austerity is very less. And austerity with benediction persons who are doing it. Definitely. If you do this book distribution, it will give austerity. See, Nirjala Ekadashi, when we do, the body is so, next day, we sleep very nicely in the night, correct? And it is a susupti. Susupti sleep means deep sleep without any dreams. That means we are connected with Krishna. It is mentioned in 12th canto of the Bhagavatam. Susupti means deep sleep where there is no dreams. And that is real connection. And then what happens? That sleep is very much important so that it regenerates. It gives energy for us to work on the next day. The Nirjala Ekadashi, we sleep very nicely. So it gives benefit to us. This austerity will give benefit to us. Suzuki, we are in connection with Krishna. That's what we have to understand. Srila Prabhupada, with 40 rupees, can you imagine? Bad benediction. With 40 rupees, he started. $400 billion. And fast austerity will create good living entities. So this is what Brahma is telling Shiva. Now austerities has created so many living entities. This from Krishna Hari Prabhu preaching so wonderfully. He was a doctor and he is preaching so wonderfully. Can you imagine? He has made so many people as devotees. They have taken shelter of Krishna. So many living entities have become happy. You can create so many good living entities. Yes, so many people some from the gutter, they have become devotees. Can you imagine? I'm also rotten gutter. From there, somebody has made me a devotee. Thanks to Swayam Sri Prabhu and Mahavishnu and Maharaj. So we are all transformed. Living entities have become good. Good living entities are created by austerity. So austerity is very important. And finally, 3.12.19. We'll stop here. The 3.12 Tapasvam Param Jyotir Bhagavantam Adokshanam Sarvabhuta Bhuashavam Anjasa Vidate Puma. It is very important. And Krishna says, Krishna is telling. Now he says, by penance only we can approach Krishna. So without penance, we cannot achieve Krishna. And that is very important for us to understand. And Brahma, Krishna is telling to Brahma after he did the penance. Can you imagine? Brahma is authorized to speak. This is very important for us to understand. See, by penance only we can attract, because Brahma has already done. What we do, we preach. I'm preaching now, but I'm not practicing. And that's why it does not does not have any effect on the living entities who are receiving. But here in case of Brahma, he practiced austerity. And you see, what is the association? Nothing. He was in a dark, he was sitting on a lotus flower, and he went down to see the bottom of the sea, and he couldn't find out anything. He could not trace out anything. He came and sat on the leaf, and then full dark, under Kamishra, full of Kamishra, under Kamishra, full, and then nothing else. And then he heard the two voices, divine voice, Tapa. He started doing tapas for thousands of celestial years. He did it without any association. And his only association, choppy waves of the ocean. The Garbhadaka ocean, choppy waves only was there. Nothing else was there. No association. Nowadays, without association, we cannot survive, we say. But he did that. And sometimes we have to spend time on our own. Please, you should study Bhagavatam on your own. And we should study, because we are all alone. Prabhuji's Mataji's. Association is very important, definitely. No doubt about it. But we should take some time for alone. And we should steal time for something alone. To read with Bhagavatam, to be with Krishna. Because we are going to be alone, correct? When we die, nobody is going to accompany us. Nothing accompanies us. So only the devotion service. And therefore, we have to spend some time. Because Brahma was alone. He was no association. But he didn't claim, oh, I don't have association. Now we have so many associations, so many programs. Everywhere YouTube, you have got association, kirtans and whatnot, And even all this, we don't want to do an austerity. And that is our problem. Please, Prabhuji, we don't want to do austerity, to wake up Mangalarti, to do the chanting, Please come for this program every day. Please don't miss this program. It is so important for us to understand the devotion service. And then, see, because of the Brahma's penance, Krishna is replying to him in 2nd canto, 9th chapter, 27. He says, Manishitana yoyam mama loka balokanam yet upashritta ragasi chakata paramam tapaha. He says, Krishna is saying, the highest perfection ingenuity, the personal perception of my abodes. And this has been possible because of your submissive attitude, the performance of severe penance according to my order. I told you to do tapas, submissive attitude. This is very important for us. We are doing the austerity also. We have to be very careful. Nirjala Ekadashi, I'm doing. Prabhuji, I'm doing Nirjala Ekadashi. Don't disturb me. Don't give me devotion service. That is not devotion service. Submissive attitude. We should do the service. I'm doing Nirjala Ekadashi. I'm not eating anything. Please don't disturb me. No. That should not be that way. Submissive attitude is very. I'm doing this Ekadashi. I'm doing this service. Please don't disturb me. No. You should have the submissive attitude. And this is austerity. And this penance is very much required. And then next verse is telling 2.9.23. Pratyadishtam maya tattar twai karma vimogite tapope hridayam shaktat atmakam tabaso anagaha. O sinless Brahma, you must know that I who first ordered you to undergo penance. When you perplexed in such beauty, such penance is heart, my soul. So austerity is heart and soul of Krishna. Unless we do austerity in the material world, we cannot be successful. So devotional service also we have to do austerity. And this austerity is a must. Without austerity, we cannot get anything in this material world. What about Krishna? We have to do austerity. And that's what Krishna is telling. Brahma is telling Shiva, please do austerity. And it gives auspicious to everybody. And you can create auspicious living entities. And it will give Badram Te. It will give auspicious for you also. And that's how we should understand that how austerity is important in the devotional service. And how we should react like Vidura, Chitraketu, that especially Grasatam. And how we should not devour other living entities. This is some sense of these 4 verses. I think if I have told anything wrong, please forgive me, Prabhuji Mataji. I'm still trying to understand Bhagavatam. I don't know how much years we need to understand Bhagavatam, because we can never understand Bhagavatam at all. Bhagavatam is unlimited, Ananta. So what we have done is not even 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion, 1 by trillion. So very difficult. If there anything I've spoken wrong, something hurting you, please forgive me. I'm still struggling. Please pray for me that whatever I have spoken, I should practice. I'm not practicing. That's the biggest problem. Because Brahma, he was practicing penance and he can advise Shiva to do penance. So it was effective. And Shiva did the penance and he became Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu. So he didn't create any, he created Kartikeya and Ganesha. Nice demigods. Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Dandavad Pranams. Satish Gosha Prabhu, Shiva, Krishna Hari Prabhu, if I have told something wrong, please forgive me. I think in front of you, I should not speak. Please forgive me. Dandavad Pranams.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
Shall I say something?
Yes, Prabhu.
It was a wonderful lecture, dynamic lecture, very dynamism. The only thing that I understand from this shloka 19 is the first two lines of Prabhupada's purport. And the first two lines, the last words are, to get the mercy of Lord Krishna, it is important to do austerity. And you have to show by your behavior, by your attitude, by your acharan, that austerity is to be followed, and only then people will follow you. This is, I think, the most important line in these purposes. We have very well explained this all throughout. Now, I just want to add something for you. I just came to know today that you are a disciple of His Holiness Mahavishnu Swami Maharaj.
Yes, yes.
In 1998, when I was chairman of the festival committee in east of Kailash, Santnagar Temple, Radha Parsarthi Temple, then we organized a 7-day saptah for him.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, I remember. Yes.
You remember?
Yes.
I was the organizer.
Oh, Haribol.
Of the festival committee at that time.
Oh.
And we had recorded audios of his lecture those days, because CDs and this
Correct. Understand.
Not available. Recording was done on audios.
Correct.
But then Sajjan Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
You know it very well. He's also your brother.
Yes.
Dasi, they had visited my place. They came to my place, and then we talked about all this. Then they sent somebody from Delhi temple. I don't remember his name at the moment, but his face was little moved. Some paralysis there. I don't remember his name now. He came over to me. He collected those audios, and then he converted.
That Prabhuji is
something like that.
Sham Sharan Prabhu.
Yeah. So then these audio cassettes were converted to MP3.
Correct.
Then I requested him, they sent those MP3 to me, but after that he disappeared. He never turned up. I don't know whether he converted or didn't convert it. I have no idea. Believe
Actually,
me,
Prabhu, all these lectures, now we have a website. I think everything is downloaded in that. I think including the Bhagavatam lecture is also there. Saptaha is also there, I think. It is mahavishnugoswami.com.
Okay.
mahavishnugoswami.com. If you go to the website, all the lectures are loaded now. I think maybe these lectures, I don't know. I have to check with him. I have to check with Kalchakar Prabhu. It is already loaded. I have just put it in this mahavishnugoswami.com. You put that, you can go through that, and you can see all the audio lectures. Every lecture you can hear also. I think Saptaha is also there. I think so. It is there. I don't know. And I've checked some portion of it, but I don't know fully, because there are about 500 lectures or something is there. Discussion, lectures, so many things are there. So you can go through that and you can see that.
So Sajjan Krishna Prabhu is sending me the Bhagavatam lectures, that writings by various devotees from Singapore, from Switzerland, from Dubai, from various Chennai itself, Chennai, Mumbai, Bangalore, various devotees are writing. And those Bhagavatam lectures I have been sending. They are wonderful writings. So those lectures I have been sending to my group, which constitutes 6,000 people.
Oh, Haribol, super Prabhu.
6,000 people on internet. So I keep on sending those lectures to them. regularly, and we
Yes.
are all enjoying it.
Yeah.
A wonderful association with you.
Yeah, thank
Very
you.
nice.
Please pray
Thank
for
you.
Prabhu, please. Sorry, in front of you, I should not speak Maryada Vitikrama. Sorry for that. I've spoken something wrong. Please forgive.
I'm with ISKCON for last 38 years.
Yeah, Prabhu. Yes, really. You are already going back to God. Just by having a darshan, I am getting purified.
So it's my privilege to be with the group. Whenever
It's
I'm
not so
giving
easy.
lecture somewhere else, I
It's
don't
not so
come.
easy to be in ISKCON for 38 years. And you have done the austerity and you have gone through all the Grasatam also.
Yeah, sure.
It's not so easy.
Very difficult, no doubt. But once you start practicing it, it becomes
Yes.
easy.
Yes, yes. So actually you should take the class because you have lived that, but I have not done that. You have lived you have done the austerity and you have tolerated the Grasatam. So you are embodiment of that. So you are the ideal person to follow.
So at present, I'm giving 5 lectures online every week,
Okay.
Monday to Saturday,
Okay.
and 3 lectures physically going to temples on every Sunday.
Haribol, super.
8 lectures a week. That is my schedule at present.
That's fully engaged.
Krishna, Prabhupada's mercy, Guru Maharaj's mercy, I can continue this.
Correct.
Need blessings of every devotee.
You are already blessed. We require your blessings, Prabhu. You are such an exalted, and your preaching means, you are very dear to Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for the association.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, very nice class, Prabhuji, and your enthusiasm is very infectious. And we feel that you are younger than, at least me. Hare Krishna. Any devotee has any questions, you can ask. You can unmute your mic or you can type in the comment box.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
Yes, Mataji.
प्रभु जी एक क्वेश्चन था कि एक जगह ये बताया गया कि भाई नारद जी जो है दासी के पुत्र है, और दूसरी जगह ही हमने पीछे पढ़ा कि नारद जी जो है वो ब्रह्मा जी के मतलब पुत्र है. इसको कैसे समझे?
Mataji, I'm not able to hear you.
हेलो.
माताजी, वो नारद जी की पास्ट लाइफ में वो दासी पुत्र थे.
मतलब दो नारद कैसे हो गए कि एक जगह तो नारद जी को ब्रह्मा जी का पुत्र बताया गया और एक जगह दासी के पुत्र बताया गया?
Yeah, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Both are correct. First, actually, when Narada appeared first from Brahma.
जी हिंदी में समझा दीजिए प्लीज.
Yeah. Hindi, I'm not very good, Mataji. Maybe Prabhuji can, Sri Krishna Hari Prabhu can explain.
इससे अब प्रिय माता जी, आप ना जरा नारद जी का लाइफ स्टाइल पढ़िएगा, लाइफ हिस्ट्री पढ़िएगा. इट इज प्रेजेंटिंग अगेन. एक हुआ, उसके बाद चले गए, फिर दोबारा से अगला जन्म हुआ है, फिर उनको एक शरीर प्राप्त हुआ है. इट इज नॉट वंस दैट ही वाज बोर्न. अब दोबारा पढ़िएगा, मैं आपको सारी की सारी स्टोरी जो है वो महाभारत निकाल के पढ़ के सुनाऊंगा, तब आपको क्लैरिटी हो जाएगी सारी बात की.
जी प्रभु जी. जी प्रभु जी.
नारद जी एक है कि 2 है कि 3 है कि 4 है, तो आपको सारी बात का क्लैरिटी हो जाएगा. बिकॉज जब वो सारा स्टोरी सुन लेंगे ना एक बार, तब आपको जो है पिक्चर साफ हो जाएगी सारी.
ठीक है प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी. विविध प्रणाम प्रभु जी.
Yes.
Prabhu ji, yes, Prabhu ji. From today's lecture, the one realization that I am taking away with me is that we should never judge the people.
Correct.
So, yeah, because we keep on doing that. If we meet even a person for the first time, we start judging him. Or
Correct.
A person who is sitting just every day, you are meeting him in your office, you keep on judging his every act. So
Correct.
That's the point I am taking with me, Prabhuji, that I will try my best that I don't judge any people.
Yes. Mataji, my Maharaj used to say, who has authority to judge any living entity? Maharaj used to ask this question: who has appointed you to judge any living entity? You don't have any. This judgment is done by Krishna.
True. Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Yes. But by nature, we judge people. That is our nature. Because inborn nature is to judge people and deride something. And we deride and we put some people into difficulty. That's what we do. But we should not judge people. Because people act in different circumstances, different situations, and we do not know. And what is her name? Suruchi judged Dhruva as an insignificant living entity. She is born of Suniti, so he is not a good son. Suniti is a low class man, and anyway disregarded by Uttanapada. Like that, she thought. And what has happened? The reaction. She judged very badly on Dhruva, and finally she has to leave the body. First, she has to see Putra Shokam. She has to see her son die, killed by Yaksha, and then she has to die also. It was a very, so we should not judge, especially when the living entity become a pure devotee, we do not know, correct or not. So that's why we cannot judge any devotee for that matter. And maybe he may be taking something, he may do something, and finally he become a pure devotee. We do not know how, when he will become, we do not know. So that's why we have to be very careful. That's why we should not judge. Yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes.
अब अभय माता जी, आप नारद के विषय में सुन लो जरा ध्यान से।
जी प्रभु जी।
महाभारत सभा पर्व 5वां अध्याय। महाभारत पर 5वां अध्याय। नारद हुए हैं, परंतु देव ऋषि नारद एक ही हैं। इनको भगवान का मन कहा गया है। ये परम तत्वज्ञ, परम प्रेमी, उद्धव वेता ब्रह्मचारी हैं और भक्ति के प्रधान आचार्य हैं। संसार पर इनका अमिट उपकार है। प्रहलाद, ध्रुव, अम्बरीश आदि महान भक्तों को इन्होंने भक्ति मार्ग में प्रवृत्त किया है। वे श्रीमद् भागवत, वाल्मीकि रामायण जैसे 2 अनूठे ग्रंथ भी संसार को इन्हीं की कृपा से प्राप्त हुए थे। सुखदेव गोस्वामी जैसे महान ज्ञानी को भी इन्होंने उपदेश दिया था। ये पूर्व जन्म में दासी के पुत्र थे। इनकी माता महर्षियों के जूठे बर्तन मांजा करती थी। जब ये 5 वर्ष के थे तब इनकी माता का अकस्मात मृत्यु हो गई। तब वे सब प्रकार के सांसारिक बंधनों से मुक्त होकर जंगल की ओर निकल पड़े और वहां जाकर एक वृक्ष के नीचे बैठकर भगवान के स्वरूप का ध्यान करने लगे। ध्यान करते करते इनकी वृत्तियां एकाग्र हो गईं और इनके हृदय में भगवान प्रकट हो गए। परंतु थोड़ी देर के लिए इन्हें अपने मनमोहन रूप की झलक दिखलाकर भगवान तुरंत अंतर ध्यान हो गए। अब तो वे बहुत छटपटाए और मन को पुनः स्थिर करके भगवान का ध्यान करने लगे, किंतु भगवान का वह रूप उन्हें फिर न दिख पड़ा। इतने में ही आकाशवाणी हुई, हे दासी पुत्र, इस जन्म में तुम्हें मेरा दर्शन न होगा कि शरीर को त्याग कर मेरे पार्षद के रूप में तुम मुझे पुनः प्राप्त करोगे। भगवान के इन वाक्यों को सुनकर इन्हें बड़ी प्रसन्नता हुई और सांत्वना हुई और मृत्यु की बात जोते हुए त्रिसंग होकर पृथ्वी पर विचरने लगे। समय आने पर इन्होंने पंच भौतिक शरीर को त्याग दिया। कल्प के अंत में भगवान के प्राणों में प्रविष्ट हो गए और दूसरे कल्प में ये दिव्य विग्रह धारण करके ब्रह्मा जी के मानस पुत्र के रूप में अवतीर्ण हुए। तब से ये अखंड ब्रह्मचर्य व्रत को धारण करके वीणा बजाते हुए भगवान के गुणों को गाते रहते हैं। स्कंद संख्या 1, श्रीमद् भागवतम अध्याय संख्या 6। अब महाभारत सभा पर्व के 5वें अध्याय में आगे कहा गया है, देव ऋषि नारद वेद तथा उपनिषदों के मर्मज्ञ हैं, देवगणों से पूजित हैं, इतिहास पुराणों के विशेषज्ञ हैं, अतीत कल्पों की बातों को जानने वाले हैं, न्याय और धर्म के तत्वज्ञ, शिक्षा, कल्प, व्याकरण, आयुर्वेद आदि के जानने वालों में श्रेष्ठ, परस्पर विरुद्ध विविध विधि वाक्यों की एक वाक्यता में प्रवीण, प्रभावशाली वक्ता, नित्यज्ञ, मेधावी, स्मरणशील, ज्ञानी, कवि, भले बुरे को पृथक पृथक पहचानने में चतुर, समस्त प्रमाणों द्वारा वस्तु तत्व का निर्णय करने में समर्थ, न्याय के वाक्यों के गुण दोषों को जानने वाले, बृहस्पति जैसे विद्वानों की शंकाओं का समाधान करने में समर्थ, धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष के तत्व को यथार्थ रूप में जानने वाले, सारे ब्रह्मांड में और त्रिलोकी में इधर उधर ऊपर नीचे जो कुछ होता है सबको योग बल से प्रत्यक्ष देखने वाले, सांख्य और योग के विभाग को जानने वाले, देव व्यक्तियों को वैराग्य का उपदेश देने में चतुर, सतुर संधि विग्रह के तत्व को जानने वाले, कर्तव्य अकर्तव्य का विभाग करने में दक्ष, षड्गुण्य प्रयोगों के विषय में अनुपम, सकल शास्त्रों में प्रवीण, युद्ध विद्या में निपुण, संगीत विशारद, भगवान के भक्त, विद्या और गुणों के भंडार, सदाचार के आधार, सबके अधिकारी और सर्वत्र गति वाले हैं। उपनिषद, पुराण, इतिहास इनकी पवित्र गाथाओं से भरे हुए हैं। ये
हरि
नारद जी
बोल,
डिटेल्स व्याख्या है।
हरि बोल, हरि बोल। थैंक यू प्रभु, बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत बढ़िया।
Hare Krishna. So thank you so much Prabhu ji for this Narad episode, देवर्षि नारद जी। और इत्तिफाकन प्रभु जी आज देवर्षि नारद जी का बर्थडे भी है, शायद कहीं से एक फॉरवर्ड आया था, या आज है या कल था।
किसका?
देवर्षि नारद का बर्थडे था।
अच्छा, नारद।
हाँ जी, नारद जयंती ऐसा कुछ कहा किसी ने।
पूर्णिमा थी ना?
हाँ जी,
बताइए।
नॉट श्योर। तो आई थिंक प्रदीप प्रभु जी ने हैंड रेज किया था। प्रदीप प्रभु जी, यू वांट टू आस्क समथिंग? यस प्रभु जी, यू कैन अनम्यूट।
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. My question we cannot assess or judge.
Prabhuji, your voice is breaking.
But
Voice
in this
breaking.
practical world, in this we cannot. Prabhuji, now are you hearing me?
Yes, yeah.
My question is that we cannot judge people who are superior on superior platform to us, but even if we try to judge, because until unless we know what whom to associate and whom not to associate, that we can do only after judging someone.
A good point, bro. Very good point. Yes. The sense judgment to associate with that is okay. Judge and take action is not good. That's what is the thing. Judgment, we have to do judgment, but too much judgment on the particular living entity will create a problem for us. By judging others, what happens? We try to put them down or glorify too much. That also we should avoid. So judge them to know how to interact with them. Yes, that is the lower level. That interaction level, we must know whether to judge them, whether to associate with them or not. That is a good point. But to judge them on the higher level, where we want to criticize them or condemn them, those angles, or glorify them too much, that angle of vision we have to avoid. But we have to judge, because without judging, we cannot associate with people. Definitely, whether to associate with this person or not, we should think, yes, definitely. We should judge, definitely. That is the minimum judgment. I'm talking about the total judgment. There's an ocean of difference between minimum judgment and total judgment. Total judgment means we judge the people and we what we do is we place them as this fellow is useless, this fellow is rascal, this fellow is ruffian, this fellow is a cheater. Like that we brand. We should not brand anybody. That's what the judgment should not be, branding somebody as some like that, because every living entity acts in different way in different situations. So because that's how the nature of the material world works.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Is it okay to disassociate? I mean, I can't name anyone, but I was associating with a senior devotee in a congregation for Bhagavad Gita lecture. She, I mean,